Hey everybody, welcome back to Whistle Thicket. It's April. There are almost leaves on trees. A few trees are starting to bud, and there was a project I meant to do in late winter. I just didn't get to it, and that was actually a good thing because this is the best time of year to plug mushroom logs. So the reason why is that in the wintertime, the trees store all of their sugar and nutrients in their root system, and then in the spring they draw it back up through their trunk, and then they don't have leaves yet, so in the summertime the leaves have a lot of the sugar is in the leaves and a lot of the nutrients. But right now, right before the trees are about to leaf, all of that sugar and nutrients are in the trees. So that is great for mushrooms. So this is actually the perfect time of year to make mushroom logs, and I'm really excited. I've been wanting to do this for years, and I'm finally doing it. So this is what I'm doing today. I have three types of mushrooms. I have shiitakes, I have pearl oyster mushrooms, and I have chicken of the woods. If you've never had chicken of the woods, it is the bomb. It is an amazing mushroom. When I was a kid, I hated mushrooms, actually. I despised them. Now, I have mushrooms probably 3 or 4 days a week. I throw them in pasta. I just love it. Grilled mushrooms, fried mushrooms, baked mushrooms. I mean, it's like a Forrest Gump of mushrooms. I just love mushrooms. And on my homestead, I'm trying to do things that are going to be long-term and that are going to provide food for me and my family for years to come. Mushrooms are one of those things. So this is basically all you need to plug mushroom logs. First, you need plug spawn. There's lots of different types of spawn, but I like the plugs for logs. It's just easier. You need some sort of wax to cover the spawn as soon as you drill it and insert the spawn in the logs. I'm using cheese wax right now. I've never used it before. This is my first time making mushroom logs, but it's pretty simple. Some people like to put the wax on the end of the logs. I'm not going to do that. I've done some research, and people say it doesn't really make a difference. So I'm actually using two resources. One is from Asheville Fungi. I'm going to put a link to their website on the bottom. This is great. It tells you all of the trees that certain species are best in. So that's pretty awesome. The second resource I'm using, let me see, is right here. Best management practices for log-based shiitake cultivation in the northeastern United States. So this is an official document made by Cornell University. If you can't trust a fancy, smart university like that, who can you trust? So this is for people that want to start a mushroom business. So I'm going to follow this. And they've done studies at Cornell where they had wax on the end of the logs and wax not on the end of the logs, saw no difference whatsoever. So I'm not going to waste my cheese wax doing that. This is important too, though. You also need logs, right? You need fresh cut logs. The fresher, the better. If you cut them and wait a while, then other wild fungi have a chance to colonize that log, and that's why I cut my logs 1 hour ago, actually a half hour ago. So I'm using cherry and oak for shiitake. That's all I'm doing today, is just a couple logs with shiitake. Hopefully tomorrow I will do more. But you want fresh logs, as fresh as you can get them, and then you want to put the spawn in as quick as you can. If you wait too long, then that's where the cheese wax on the ends might be valuable. But if you do it as soon as you can, the mushroom spawn you put in there is going to colonize that log, and you're not going to have to worry about any competition from other fungi. So you also need a drill, and that's really it, and a drill bit. So spawn, logs, drill bit, cheese wax. That's about all you need in a way to melt the cheese wax. So I'm going to get to it. I'm going to be drilling holes about 1.5 inches deep or so just a little bit deeper than the plug spawn. Then I'm going to cover it with wax, and I'm going to tap it in a little bit with a mallet so that the spawn is not exposed to the elements. I'm going to cover it with cheese wax. The reason you cover it with wax is to keep the spawn nice and moisturized so that it doesn't dry out. And that's another reason why you want to get fresh logs, so you have moisture inside your logs. So let's go ahead and make some mushroom logs, Shitake style. So this is what your finished product should kind of look like. My logs I made 4 feet tall or 4 feet long. That's a good length to move and deal with. You don't want a giant log that's just hard to, I guess, move those logs around all the time. You don't have to do a lot of maintenance with mushroom logs. You just need to make sure they stay wet if there's a dry season. But as you may be able to tell, it's raining right now. I don't need to worry about these logs. But probably in about 6 months, if I'm lucky, I will get my first mushroom flush. Sometimes it can take up to a year to get your mushrooms, but just don't give up hope. You will get mushrooms. Sometimes it takes longer than others, just depending on the type of mushroom, the tree you chose, and your climate. But just keep them wet, and you will get your mushrooms sooner than you think, hopefully. If you notice, it may be hard to see, but I got my wax. I kind of made a diamond shape on my mushroom log. So there's probably close to 40 spawn in this log. I think 30 to 50 is a good mix for your mushroom logs. Now, if you get a bigger log, it's going to take longer, but the good news is you'll get mushrooms for a longer period of time, so that's up to you. As soon as these, I guess, mushrooms start producing, these logs are gonna get lighter and lighter because they are using up the energy stored in this log. But like I said, if you are lucky, you can get up to 10 years on a mushroom log. 5 easy, 10 if you are lucky. And I am really excited about this project. It's really going to add something awesome to the homestead. I love mushrooms. If you've never had a homegrown mushroom, they are delicious. So hopefully this helped you out. Keep on homesteading. Have a great day. I'm going to keep working in the rain because that's what I do sometimes. Whistle thicket.